Monsters. How we love them. How we loathe them. How we love to loathe them. From the very beginning of human culture right up to the present day, we've always told stories of monsters. Once the stories were told as warnings by people who truly believed the things they weaved these tales about were real. These days, we mark such things as leftovers from a superstitious past. No longer do most people believe that vampires, werewolves, and the like truly exist. We scoff and laugh at the thought of the things that go bump in the night. Or at least we do, until that fateful moment we find ourselves alone in the dark, hearing strange noises that we cannot readily explain. Oh, how we tend to change our tune then. And even leaving that aside, for all that we declare ourselves above such nonsense like monsters, that's not stopped us from telling stories of them. Indeed, our love of tales of creatures, of hideous shambling things, has not lessened. If anything, it's only grown. It's safe to say that in any human culture that has ever existed, there has always been a place for stories about monsters, and for good reason. Whether gathered around a campfire, sitting in a darkened theater, or simply lying in bed as our parents read to us, we need our monsters. They teach us to be cautious. They give our imaginations that vital spark that can help carry us through adulthood and beyond, and they fill our lives with the best kind of fear. The fear that also brings joy. We like being scared. It's as simple as that. Combine that with our love of colorful and memorable characters, be they good or bad, and is it any wonder that so many monsters have legions of dedicated fans? We can enjoy horror tales with such intensity because we know they aren't real. We get that thrilling sensation of a chill down our spines, of the quickening of the pulse and the breath, and all from a place of safety. At least, we like to think it's safe anyways. And when I said we love our monsters, I was definitely including myself in that descriptor. Yes, I've been known to wave the banner of monsterdom from time to time myself. Especially for the classic nasties. You know, the ones with proper style and all that. Give me a touch of class to go with the bloodletting and screams of terror and pain. It does so add to the overall ambiance, as it were. So, it's with all that in mind that I am happy to welcome you all to a Monstrous October, the series which hopefully will become an annual celebration of all things dark and terrible. After all, what better time to celebrate the monster than in the month of All Hallows Eve itself? Before we begin, let me issue a few notes and sundry that all would be well served to remember. A good horror tale needs someone to present a warning to the unwary after all, and in this case, I'll gladly fill that role. To begin with, for this first edition of the show, I'll be focusing exclusively on the films of the Universal Monsters series. No doubt you're familiar with them, if only by reputation alone. The original Dracula, the first Frankenstein, the Wolfman, etc. Now, exactly which films are actually a part of the Universal Monster canon, such as it were, can sometimes be an issue of debate, but in my case, I'll be sticking to the 30 films included in the Universal Studios Classic Monster Collection that hit the market just last month. And as such, that means, for example, we won't be taking a look at the Edgar Allan Poe trilogy, or any of the silent films that technically predate the series proper, or the Inner Sanctum mysteries, or so on and so forth. I have to work with the material I have on hand, after all, and besides, with 30 films matching nicely with 31 days, there really wouldn't have been room for more anyways. And yes, I will indeed be posting a review every day of October, to my Blip account for those interested in keeping up with a Monstrous October on a daily basis. Otherwise, you can check out compilation videos collecting 3 or more reviews together twice a week on That Guy with the Glasses. And I'll still be doing at least one regular video post a week in October as well, so fear not, fans of my other shows. You won't have to go a full month without your regular dose of blistered reviews or unrepentant geeking, I promise. It's been a lot of work getting all these reviews ready in time for the beginning of October, but it's also been a lot of fun as well. I've long had a soft spot for the Universal Monster pictures, and over the course of this series, I'm hopeful you'll come to see why, if you don't already know. Furthermore, October is probably my favorite month of the year, and Halloween my favorite holiday. But as I've grown older, the opportunities to really celebrate both in a proper manner has grown increasingly scant. So, if nothing else, consider a Monstrous October my little contribution to the most glorious time of the year. And with that, it's time we move on to our first review proper with the film that started it all. Dracula. Enjoy.